Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and amazing, riveting Propagandacast with me, host and Pearl Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. We're off here to a glorious 1v1 here on Pachino Stalemate. In the north stands Reakly, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 91st Infantry Division on the receiving end of an assault here by Orangepest, fighting for the Deutsches Afrika Korps. This is German army rolling out here with the 3rd Panzergrenadier. He's going for a fairly interesting 250 start here right off the bat. We got Italian combined arms from him as well here, as he follows with the fast 250 with Panzer Pioneer. Likely going for that fast 250 as a way to, say, counter an early Jeep in case Reakly goes for armor and rushes out the Jeep. In those situations, the 250 can sort of take it on in my experience. It could also be, though, he's actually planning to go very aggressive as Reakly here with the 250 and hit him with a fast light vehicle. And it does appear to be option number 2 here as Orangepest just rushes his 250 half-track ahead here, straight through the narrow roads of Pachino. Orangepest here committing to triple Panzer Pioneer, leaning heavily into the Panzer Pioneer Abteilung here of the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division. Meanwhile, Reakly just setting out their unknowns as to what is hiding there in the shadows. And now Orangepest is going to drive straight up to his opponent's base here. He's going in as aggressive as he can, engaging the rival corps. They're under fire right at the very own doorstep by German forces. As always, by the way, a big hearty thanks to my patrons for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacast. And a big thanks to all those people who keep liking and commenting here, so we get a bit of shooting there. And finally, a big thanks to Andrew for donating and support the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. So, but half-tech finally falling back, they're taking better damage, but still put a bit of pressure there on Reakly in the early game. Got to quickly fall back here with the 250, get repaired by the Panzer Pioneer, who of course can do the job fairly effectively. Certainly part of the job description, I would imagine. So back hit base here for Orangepest. We'll have to see what's next. More half-tracks, more Panzer Pioneer, tech, Panzergrenadiers, who knows? Meanwhile, Reakly occupying the house here, overviewing here in the centre of Pachino. Up north there, we got the scouts continue to advance here, and back at Reakly's base, we got another route on the way there. More GIs being sent out here to confront the 3rd Panzergrenadier. There we go, Panzergrenadier for Orangepest. Certainly a unusual opening area so far. Rushing north is going to catch the scout here, flanking up behind with the 250 after engaging there with bolt action and machine gun here. Scouts quickly hightailing out there alongside a few civilians who have decided they got better places to be. Meanwhile, Reakly are going for the fuel point there right outside Orangepest base. In the south, the Orangepest is slowly making progress with 2 of his Panzer Pioneer squads, or Gruppen. Panzergunners bringing up here. We've got the half-tank and Southwards here. Disengaging, or dislodging there, the Panzer Pioneer there. Disembarking. There we go. That's the right word. Moving in here. Panzergrenadiers now back up with the half-track. Got grenades up for Reakly, of course, to counter the early half-track here. Snagging it off. Grenade off on Panzer. There you go. Quickly dodged here. Orangepest moves a bit faster than Reakly. We got more men arriving. The half-track is in dire straits now. There's a good chance here Reakly will be able to finish it off here before Orangepest has a chance to get out of there. I mean, Reakly could get unlucky. Orangepest could get very lucky, but chance of this 250 half-track surviving this, I would say at this point, are fairly slim. But that's it. Slim doesn't mean impossible, and he manages it. With less than a point of, like, structural integrity of the half-track, somehow it manages it. Absolutely amazing. More Panzergrenadiers for Orangepest. In the south, Panzer Pioneer being pushed back by the GIs. Others withdrawing here in the centre. Up north here, Panzer Pioneer busy. Yeah, that is some amazing good fortune. Healing up the troops that were busy. In the south, the Reakly looking to pressure up here. Orangepest. Guessing, though, by the looks of things, he's not going to go for any early Bessayeri here versus Reakly. Might in fact be planning to go for the Summervento or the M1340. There's definitely actually been an increase in players actually not just going for the combined arms section, but actually relying more on the Italian armor, allowing them to, go for more light vehicle heavy strategies, and then, use Italian armor to back those up. Bit sneaky there. So, 250 half-track fixed up here for Orangepest. Up north, fresh engagement here. By the munitions point, we got the scouts, the once more being outmatched and outgunned. Orangepest right outside Reakly's doorstep once more with a flamethrower team this time around. Rival squads matching the Panzer Pioneer, forces them back. And force them into the nearby building. And I imagine out the other side we got grenades here. There you go. Thought he had him there, but Orangepest somewhat saw through that, but in the end still has to retreat. It's just a matter how many does he lose in retreat, I suppose, here to Reakly. Rival squads pointing to the centre up north here. Panzer Pioneers slowly making progress there. Far south here, the quick counterattack here with the Panzergrenadiers in the half-track. Forcing Reakly's rival into the building. Probably also indicating he's actually got no munitions left for grenades at the moment. Attack for Orangepest here. Got the light support company up. over to Reakly here, who has gone for armor, but interesting enough, hasn't gone for the Jeep. Meanwhile, pushing on the fuel point, Panzer Grenadiers, Route Squad, counter-attacking here. Interesting enough, he did have the munitions, but decided not to snare up the half-track. Interesting decision there. Up north here, fresh engagement here. Captain over as the Panzer Pioneer now, and we got the scouts moving up to support. And by the looks of it, he's also got the medical station up there to provide healing for his men. Very good there. Thumbs up to Reakly. Back here, half-track repair once more. Orangepest not wasting room in there. Chanel, we need to make this thing operable again. Yeah, but it's been shot at so many times with the Americans. It's got to be falling apart soon. On the west side here, far west. Panzer Pioneer there, ground the fuel point again, messing with Reakly's fuel income there, only to get counterattacked. Fighting for the fuel pot here intensifies as Orangepest counterattacks with the half-track there, backed up by plenty of German Truppen. Urging them onwards for the glory of the fatherland up north here. Panzer Pioneer looks like they're going to get forced back here, but Reakly Route taking a lot of damage, being forced back here. Too many Germans with too many guns. And the addition of a flamethrower, of course, is not going to make this more sustainable for Reakly and the men of the 91st Infantry. Grenades are being chucked, a bit of a parting gift from Reakly to Orangepest. Meanwhile, back at base here, we do have a motor pool here for Reakly. Obviously expecting accuracy out of his opponent. He is likely going to be pushing for a fast Greyhound or a chaff here to meet Orangepest head on. Of course, he could also go for the Scot, I suppose. In the south side, rather than pushing forwards, they are low on health though, so Reakly will want to be careful. They've got mines being laid down here by Orangepest, the Schützenmine. Another fierce engagement here. Route Squad just gets out of there. Realizes it's going to be wasting some manpower here to fight Orangepest there. Very sensible. Big 2 points wide. Reakly's also got the big 2 point lead over Orangepest. Panzer Gun, he's being surrounded by the Americans on both sides. That said, once a captain, there's a bunch of scouts. Definitely not up for the task of taking on German mechanized infantry like that. Meanwhile, Panzerjäger's out for Orangepest. Clearly concerned about being hit by a fast Greyhound or Chaffee. He gets ready to halt either of those two potential possibilities with some Panzerjägers. There we go. Greyhound on the way here for Reakly to match Orangepest's infantry. Scouts being caught in a bit of an awkward situation there. South side, he ground points here for 250 fixed up.
We've lost the scout squad.
Starts with the Panzer Pioneer. Linking up here. 4 scout immediate bets into 1 Greyhound here for him. We also got search and destroy. So Reakly, no intention of going for the Scot here. Versus Orangepest, but I mean, plan to go for large numbers of either Sherman, EC8s or whatever, Chaffies, and then using search and destroy to really get them going. In the center there, Greyhound going in for the Panzer Pioneer, racing through the narrow streets. Panzerjägers though unleashing the ambush and firing their tear gas rounds at point blank range into the Greyhound, causing quite a mess inside. Jesus, Carl! What have you been eating? It's not me, Joe. It's the Germans. Yeah, Germans. Anyways, Captain forwards here. Good hit on the 250 from the Greyhound. Panzerjägers doing what they can. Greyhound there trying to stay a safe distance against the Panzerjägers. Mines on the northern road out of Pachino. Back at base. 400%, they've got the ambulance up. Nothing out of the mechanized company as of yet. Captain there was the Panzerjägers. Southwest here, half-track supporting a Panzer Grenadier push here. Reakly is definitely feeling the pressure here from Orangepest, that is for sure. And Orangepest is also starting to bleed out Reakly here in terms of victory points. 250 falling back, Panzer Pioneer up to repair, Panzer Pioneer also falling back. We've got the ambulance move forwards here for Orangepest. Either misclick or he's got some other plan here. Which of the two, of course, is the bigger question? Got bars on the way though, BARs on the way there for Reakly. Here's grenade that goes off in the 250 half to get under Orangepest command. He's trying to get out of there. Looks like it's going to manage it though. Panzer Grenadiers with the focus fire getting grenaded though here by Reakly. Good grenade, almost taking out the entire Panzer Grenadier squad. Quickly dodging into the old orphanage and then hightailing out of there. Fortunately, took the same door. Fix up the 250 here. Fuel put outside of Orangepest base being grabbed back. Reakly is definitely keen on turning the game around there. Got Orangepest really getting punished now, folks. And these Panzer Grenadiers here versus Reakly. And he scores the wipe with the Greyhound. A critical blow there. Orangepest wiping one of his infantry squads here. And now we got the BRs up. We also got anti-tank guns for Reakly. Clearly not intended to go heavy on the Chaffies unless Orangepest forces him. Meanwhile, we got the Semavente 75-18 out here for Orangepest. Again, starting to catch on more for plays. They like to go for it because it's overall fairly solid now. Able to deal with light vehicles, even medium armor to some extent. And you got a barrage ability, which is fairly solid as well, and now with a 45-second cooldown. So that definitely provides, I think, a lot of DAK players with some good utility if they do decide to push for a fast momentum like Orangepest here does. Anti-tank almost done here for Reakly, just trying to push through the center here, but Orangepest is putting up some pretty embittered resistance here. Some momentum forwards here. Mighty Italian assault gun here. And basically the Italian equivalent of the Stug. In fact, the Germans would use some Venters in some of their Stug Abteilungs in Italy because they couldn't get Stugs. The Greyhound knocked out with the Summon. Great kill here by Orangepest. Quite the blow that Reakly. His Greyhound is ablaze, knocked out by Italian armor.
At once, we shall have additional forces available shortly. Territory sector has been claimed by the enemy.
And typically this one is known as Stug M42, I believe, both versions of it, and then the bigger one with the 100 gun was known as Stug M43. In German service. Fun fact. Always, so into the being hauled back here. Need repairs. 250s also need repairs. In fact, Orangepest has a lot of stuff you need repairs, as it turns out.
The Pact of Steel shall support our efforts here, Commander.
Got the Pact of Steel. We've got M1340s as well here for Orangepest, so he's ready to like provide some more fierce armored elements here from the Italian army against Reakly. Back here base though, we got the support armaments unlocked, so it's going to go for Stug decent top. The some Ventus are actually intending to go for the recovery half tank. I actually don't know. All the way, they're fighting here close to Reakly's base once more as Orangepest hits that fuel point. Obviously looking to make sure that Reakly doesn't gain too much fuel too easily here. Got mines exploding somewhere. Engineers, they're likely the ones to hit the mine. Didn't bring out minesweepers. South side, you can see there Reakly is disconnecting a lot of Orangepest on the fuel points. Reakly now is in response to what's going, actually going for another Greyhound, interestingly enough. Would have figured a Chaffee, but Reakly actually went for a second Greyhound. Grenades being exchanged here. Panzer X being pushed back. We still got the Panzer Pioneer. Really making things uncomfortably hot here for the rifle on the field point. Orangepest just really hitting back hard here onto Reakly. We got the ground out there, engaging the Panzer Pioneer out in the open with its 30mm gun there. And forcing away those Panzer Pioneer. Further up north, we got the Catmaster Panzer Pioneer there. Back here, some event almost fixed up. 250 half-tack still needed repairs quite aggressively.
Sturmgeschütz reporting in.
And he actually went for Stug 3D on top of the Summerventers. So Orangepest is going for a bit of a Stug circus here in a sense with Summerventers and Stug 3Ds. At this point, all he's going to need is going to be the Stug 3G. He's going to have like a full Stug flash here for Kameni's 3. Meanwhile, Graham moving towards the center here. Reakly also hitting his opponent's fuel point. In this regard, despite, Orangepest having some success, Reakly has still been doing quite good there. Like, just denying Orangepest a lot of resources. Hitting fuel points here and there, cutting them off there. Of course, Orangepest has hardly been a slouch either, so both players are quite aggressive, quite driven, and quite looking to get the upper hand. Their grenades on the Panzerjäger, Stug joining in here. Massive explosions all over the place here. Reifner will have to withdraw in the face of the Stug 3D. In the south here, ground engaging Pioneer here by the southern fuel. Victory point, forcing the way there. 30mm gun there, inflicting horrific casualties. And we got the momentum forwards here, advancing steadily through the streets. Stug pushing through it, crashing walls. Going for the route squad. Some momentum moving up. Supporting the Panzer Pioneer there as they advance in the center here. Men on the 91st here, feeling the wrath of the Wehrmacht. And I suppose a bit it'll do you. Up north here, capturing about, and we got a Chaffee here from Reakly. The sheer number of assault guns being flung at him. It's nothing that Reakly can easily... Oh, actually, he's going to try and... Well, not ignore, but he's going to go for an entertainment. Brief consider the Chaffee. Maybe it was a misclick, but all the way. Again, Summerventer Stug D is definitely forcing here Reakly to make some counter choices. He has to respond to this, or Orangepest could very well bring him down beneath a tidal wave of 75mm high explosives. Or as the LG gunner says, 7.5 centimeters of FU. Rifleman here being pulverized with the Stug D. Punching about center though, we got a flamethrower exchange here. With the Germans coming slightly ahead here, anti-tank at the ready. In fact, you got a second one on the way there, so that's going to be double anti-tank guns. Reakly really wants to see those assault guns ablaze. Half-tech here finally back in action for Orangepest and Deutschland. Second one also. In fact, it's got Veterans 1 and it has now on-board medics. Where they are, of course, is the big question. There's his onboard medics in here. What's inside little box? Yeah.
Ready for order.
Ah, I see. Exactly. MG-34 here for Orangepest. In response, of course, to Reakly's now heavily barred up rifleman. He's clearly not just going to learn his mighty Sturmgeschütze and lighter Schützen Panzerwagens. So we've got 374 to 390 feet up north here. Reakly strikes, and it's back to Reakly. He is getting ever closer to the Sherman EC. Command points wise, we are 3 away. Resource wise, still got a bit more to go there. The Summervent and the Stuke D are definitely not making it easier for Reakly to actually get a manpower build up here. Stuke D engaging some. There you go. Anti-tank and firing on the Stuke D. Shot one through there. Rifle squad there. They're taking an asset from the Stuke D. Closing in the veterans, one in the south here. Panzer's got the southern victory point. Fresh wave of troops here from Reakly to reclaim as a southern victory point from those krauts. And up north here, big guts. Orangepest launching assault here. Supported by the Stuke D against Reakly's northern flank, but not before he chucks a grenade at the Summerventer, giving the crew quite the shock. In the south here, Ralph squad charging into the Panzerjägers and the 250 attack here. Bow move here by Reakly. Mortars on the way there. Stuke D looking to catch some unsuspecting engineers here. With it, we find them in the gun here. Great shot. Sending seized by the Panzer Pioneer. And further up north, it looks like Orangepest has persevered. He has also gone for self-repairs here, meaning this Summervent is also now just a bit tougher. Always handy. Car moving up, ground engaging. Stuke D falling a bit back. Got the Summervent moving up here. And there you go, MG-34 joining in the fun. Stuke D moving up. 250 attacks converging towards the south here, or the rear lines. Cementa moving up here. Looks like we're going to see another big engagement for the centre. Double anti-tanks there, punching through the Stuke D's armour. Cementa also realising that maybe it's got better places to be, though he does try and barrage here from behind the smoke screen that Reakly is now laying down. Obviously looking to make the machine gun unable to shoot at his men there. And Orangepest almost got the captain fully wiped here with the Summerventer.
The enemy is winning this fight.
North here, Panzer Pioneer moving up. Route going forwards. South here, Panzer Pioneer laying down large amounts of barbed wire on the southern victory point. Panzerjägers remain in ambush. We got route squads, engineers moving forwards here. A lot of stuff going on. Summerventer Stuke, they're being repaired. Back in Orangepest base. No sign of Techno. Don't sign of anything else really either. The question, of course, is what is Orangepest scheming next versus Reakly? As I imagine, he's got to, of course, be acutely aware that Reakly is likely heading in with a Sherman EC8 in the near future. If he can get away with it, of course. Stuke D heading southwards there. In the centre, Panzer goes under fire here from the Americans. As Reakly lines up for another push here. In the north, slowly gobbling up northern German terrain. Here we got 347, 362 in the southeast. Stuke D with Panzerjäger support here, finding it out, but Reakly is just utterly overpowering Orangepest here. Even with the Stuke D, he just lacks the infantry to really withstand numbers of that magnitude. Up north, there's someone being sent to support the Panzer Pioneer here. Got Panzer Pioneers occupying building here, leaving the riflemen exposed out in the open. Easy targets for the German forces, backed up by the Summerventer. And this in the machine range in the exact same position was before. Reakly has made no attempt to deal with that. Back at base here. Nothing further. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon. There's a 254 reconnaissance tracked out here for Orangepest. Now, that is definitely an interesting choice here. Not a common unit, particularly not on bombing ones, but certainly one I think that does have some merit. So, quite interesting to see Orangepest here go for the 254. And we got what I imagine is another mechanized group. Yes, indeed. This time, Orangepest summoning forth Assault Grenadiers. Knowing he has to get on the offensive, he needs to force Reakly out of the streets of Pachino. In the southeast, Stuke D supporting a fresh engagement against Reakly, as Reakly just continues to push for map control, for map dominance against his opponent. Stuke D being flanked by the rifle squads. Note the Stuke D, by the way, is veterans who won.
Enemy movement near victory point. All in, squad.
Rifle squad rated 2. Got the 254 moving northwards, so Summerventer half tracks here, and he's actually upgraded both 250s to mortar half tracks. We'll do the same with the final one here. I'm going to go for, say, 250-9, but that's only a lot of artillery fire that Orangepest gets access to. 2 mortar half tracks, and of course, the 254, which can call in mortar barrages off map as well there. So that's a lot of artillery support. And there you go, mortars raining down death on the Greyhound. So that is quite the heavy mortar approach here. A lot of light artillery. And never mind also the some event we can also barrage. Up north here, Reakly pushing to the Panzerpioneer, looking to gain the victory point here from the German army. Back to Orangepest here, is popping a concussive grenade.
The battle shifts in our favor.
There are quite a few light vehicles and a bit of medium armor. And then, of course, also still, it's not like it doesn't have any infantry either. So it's interesting, a very interesting fact, force composition Orangepest has managed to assemble versus Reakly. As for Reakly, he's got ground and tanks and infantry, isn't taking up and is, at this point, very, very likely just holding out for the Sherman EC8, of course, for the star power of Brad Pitt. So what's you're going to do here with the final half track? Will you upgrade it as well? I mean, that is very possible here. Graham Wing 40 spotting here for the units. We've got mortifying back here. We've got smoke all over the place here. And in the south here, we got Raubscope as the Panzerpioneer here. Quick grenade there. Assault goes moving up here. A lot of dodging, a lot of back and forth here. Panzer X and sending OM. We've got the Stu D moving in. And lands a great hit here on the captain, forcing away there. Mortifier sliding for the rooftops here. Tilestones being sent flying down. The engineers almost wiped out, but they do manage to survive the building's utter collapse here. The only Bob really survives. Stu D scores another great hit. Fine position there for the Stu D. Definitely makes it into a beast for anything that he's trying to advance up through here. And further up north here, this Simaventa once more dashes in there, backed up a Panzerpioneer there. The Simaventa crew is brave beyond all belief, but then again, to run around any kind of Italian armor, you definitely had to have a bit of courage because these things had riveted armor, meaning any shot had a chance of creating a lot of shrapnel inside. Later, models, the ones that really counter German control, would actually be more welded, but for the early Italian tanks, riveted armor was a massive issue. There you go. Sherman's here for Reakly. Brad Pitt has arrived, and he's cranky. I didn't get my morning coffee and donuts, so now I'm gonna take it out on you Germans. Need my mortar after flying away here, although I'm still not upgraded, but again, could be a triple mortar after for all we know here from Orangepest. Germany's turning around, entering the move as well there. But Reakly is really determined to just push through the centre against Orangepest. There's no real attempt for them to flank around. We also got some sandbags here, fortifying the centre bit there. Thumbs up. In the south, the Orangepest sneaking up behind Reakly's left flank here. Very good. Keeping the pressure. Grenades being chucked at the assault grenadiers. Just retreats. Could have fought it on there, but I think realised it wouldn't be worth it. We got raiders up there for the Panzer Grenadiers. We also got bolted sections, I guess sort of as an emergency option in case he has to like quickly replace losses, in which case he can just press the, Bessieri call in. Just quickly have some like fairly decent, infantry to match against Reakly that way. Not a bad idea overall. Up north there, Panzerpioneer grabbing the victory point here. We've got 335s of 314. Orangepest having a small leader of Reakly for now. Just a small one. In the south, Stu D on its own here. Bit risky versus Reakly here. Could be exploited here. So far again, Reakly hasn't proven himself to be particularly keen on exploiting any opportunities on the flanks. He's been much more focused on the centre against Orangepest. Something because Orangepest has sort of been encouraging because that does mean he knows where to aim all of his artillery. He's back, but finally in the south, the EC in the move. Brad Pitt surprised the 250 after kaput as he gets knocked out here. Not a massive blow to Orangepest, but still does send a signal here, a message that he needs to be careful there about being too aggressive on the flank. See, otherwise the EC might appear. And now Orangepest is bringing in the Marder fleet here to match the Sherman EC8. Still on attack here in the south. Panzerpioneer back to the Stu D, forcing away here. Reakly's rifleman. And in the centre, EC8 bring up engaging Panzerpioneer here. Shots being fired. Panzerpioneer taking immense amounts of damage. Almost being taken out here. Graham supporting the push as well here. There you go. Panzerpioneer out there. Another blow hit to Orangepest. Reakly starting to heat things up here at the front line here. So the 91st Infantry Division with the support of Brad Pitt here are looking to gain the Pachino proper. No, Panzerjägers in the corner here. And of course the mortar attacks are looking to make a direct push here from Reakly painful. Meanwhile, Reakly flanking with the Stu D, but little else. Samantha also hanging about here. And up north, fresh engaged with assault guns with Rob Squads here. MP40s versus Bars and M1 Garans. There you go. Breda wielding. Panzer's moving in here. And an MD34 for that matter. Mortify here. Stu D in firing positions. Some went slightly withdrawing here to close to the church. Reakly again being a bit bottled up here around the west center of Pachino. Clearly not comfortable about moving around elsewhere. And then again, this does mean that Orangepest can sort of pressure the flanks more aggressively without having to worry too much about it. As long as he just keeps enough forces to bottle up Reakly. Now, Reakly, I think, is starting to again realize he needs to move beyond the center. And he really does, by the way. But he needs to himself, of course, realize he needs to find other ways to attack rather than just straight down the middle into every artillery piece of German gun that Orangepest can muster. Still sneaks up here, 254 course random reconnaissance picks up on various radio signals, and that was in fact a tool used by the Germans. Of course, the Allies were just listening on radio. Sometimes the Germans can get extra lucky and actually just straight up capture American communications vehicles and use that to like just listening further. Rascal through the Stu D and the Cementus line of fire in the south here, fighting going on here. Punch beams get wiped out. He looks like Orangepest forgot about him, but Reakly did not. Over to Reakly.
Germans are winning this engagement.
He's closing on another EC8 here. Panzer Pioneer wiped out. Good killer for Reakly in the center. Fighting intensifies as Orangepest rushes him in. We got mortar firing down on both sides here. Up north here, another mine engagements happening here between Reakly and Orangepest. Grenades going off here. EC8 blasting Panzer Pioneer. Some momentum abandoned right from mortar firing down death here. It's just crashed asphalt and concrete here around the center now. And a few crashed Americans and Germans. EC8 creeping forwards here. Halfway to phase 2. Marder hanging back here. Anti-tanks being flanked. We've got one of them cleared out here by the mortar attack. Excellent work here. Samantha and Stug and Marder forcing Brad Pitt to vacate the town center. And he's even sending the cement to go for the EC8 here. Almost like he was sending a message there.
We've lost the territory sector.
Say hello to my little friend. That's not very small or little. Shut up. Stug demoing about here. He's moving about. And we got another Marder by the looks of it here for Orangepest. Obviously in response to the EC8, likely the threat of more. Of course, at some point he may of course want to consider taking up, but you know. Oh, another nice incendiary mortar hit. He clearing out Orangepest mortar, and we got an artillery strike follow up here, I think. Yes. Using the mortar as a combo once it's cleared out to then try and destroy his enemy mortar. Really nice combo there from Orangepest. Thumbs up. Panzer's there pushing back the engineers. Assault guns moving forwards. Reakly closing another EC8, but he also needs to really pick up the pace. He needs to like open up a new front versus Orangepest. He needs to somehow cause the entire, you know, battlefield to shift in some new direction. Because currently it's very much in some respects favoring Orangepest. He's actually replacing his mortar at this stage. I'm not entirely sure I like that, because at this stage he really ought to be pushing for more EC8s, I think. And of course having a mortar that's still really good, but I think it'd have gone for the mortar after the second EC8. But again, whatever that happens though, he needs to like, you know, shift his approach. Up north, the mines going off here. Panzer's having their feet blown off. Stug D there, close to 2. In the south, they got the EC8 moving forward. So catching a lone machine crew under Orangepest command here. Mardian score wipe here. Which would certainly be bad here for Orangepest if Reakly could wipe it, seize it for democracy and freedom, but no. Fortune favors Orangepest there just however briefly. Smoke screen here.
No contact.
Coming in advance there. Very good rifle pouring through the streets here. Artillery firing down death. Excellent. Mortar half track. And 254 setting up here. We got the Stu heading south at Semamente. Panzerjägers, assault guns moving up here. Round School on the move for freedom. Panzerjägers flying away there. The anti-tank rounds, of course, just completely missed the mark. Round School moving forward here. Assault guns in a bit of trouble. In the center, though, lining up for push here. Rifle squads being assailed here. Mortar firing down death here. Stu D moving up. Close 32 here. In the south, EC8 moving forwards. Reakly, though, again, kind of slowed down things for himself by going for that mortar first, though. Rifle getting pulverized here. And there you go, anti-tank guns finally getting sort of pushed into the fight again here versus Orangepest, of course, with 2 mortar half-tracks. And the mortar half-track, or the mortar, you know, track today becomes very difficult for Reakly just represent anti-tanks. You can see that just one incendiary mortar around there causes immense amounts of damage, incinerating one of the crews here, being poor Joey Bob there to run away there, allowing Orangepest to destroy the anti-tank entirely. So, Reakly is in a bit of a tough spot there, partly I would say of his own making. Up north here, some providing troops here. Assault units routes coming forward. We've got the Greyhound moving in here. Stalemates in theory could get flanked here. In the center, again, heavy fighting going on here. Anti-tank and destroyed. Great kill of Orangepest. In the south, the Reakly is making progress. Orangepest forced to commit forces away from potential counterattack in the center to meet this development. So even if Reakly is now losing the center, at the very least, he is making progress elsewhere. So thumbs up to that. And he's actually replacing the anti-tank with another one, which again further delays his EZ8. Meaning, like, you know, the typical, you know, armor win con of just going, and for a lot of EC8s and taking critical mass with them is basically being delayed. This is working out for Orangepest. Like, in a sense, he was like losing. The fact he can just force Reakly to replace his support weapons like that is actually quite big here. It means Orangepest has more chance to, shall I say, gain an advantage against opponent. Mortify keeps raining down death here. Anti-tank crew in deep trouble here. Almost got it wiped out here. Also, really good use of those incendiary mortar rounds. I really haven't seen them much here, but Orangepest has just been making excellent use of them against Reakly quite consistently. Oh, to Orangepest again.
The enemy has lowered our victory points to 250.
And what is this? Got an M1340 tank out here to further support Orangepest. More Italian army being called into the field. That said, that's a fairly late M1340. Wonder, does he actually have tungsten rounds? No, he does not. He's only got vehicle survival package and the emergency repair kit. So that said, does make the M1340 a bit more tanky as well. And assault is being pushed back here with the M1340, and it's 47mm gun. It also had several Braider guns mounted in it. Armed squad take grenading, got the EC8 supporting. Brand as well here. Panzers could get knocked out. That'd be a small win here for Reakly at this stage. We got them Semaventa flanking the EC8. Enraging Brad Pitt. They got who shooting at me? The Italians? Me? Brad Pitt? I would stand for this. North here pumping grab. M1340 falling back. In the center we got the Assault Expand Point. More Traptic found way there, close to 82. Reakly, though, continues to focus a lot of effort and attention resource onto the zone. We've got the Semaventa Astutely bombarding here. Anti-tankers lining up here. Orangepest slowing up the south here with this Semaventa and Martyrs. Panzer Peony also being sent in here in the center, though. Looks to be another fresh engagement. There you go, though. More casualty inflicted, more wipes thanks to those mortar rounds, other mortar incendiary rounds and mortar half tracks. He's really doing, like, amazing work with them. I mean, you rarely see mortar half track, but you see even this is actually the incendiary round being used at all. So, thumbs up to Orangepest. Outstanding work. Outstanding work. Up north here, though, EC8 pushing north. Let's see if we got a lone Panzer Pioneer squad on there. No mines there either, so Reakly should be able to just drive in and flush out the Germans there. Although the Pentagon is not Panzer Pioneer. Either way, though, they are in trouble against an EC8. Make no mistake. Got the M1340, the rushing forward. See a bold push of Orangepest flanking the Sherman. Another Italian tank punches through his side armor. Further enraging Brad Pitt. What is it with these Italians? Sir, it's Italy. I don't care. Get me some Germans to shoot at, not Italians. Meanwhile, we got tungsten combination here to further improve the performance of his guns here against the Sherman EC8. Good work there by Orangepest. South here, we got Bart Y again on the southern victory point. Push forward here in the center is being met with fierce resistance. We've got mortar fire, we got artillery fire here. Really messing up Reakly's push here. Again, he needs to, like, outmaneuver Orangepest rather than just drive again into, like, every gun possible from Orangepest. I'm a bit amazed he keeps doing that. And not the good kind of amazed either. Anti-tanks away for Reakly, going for another one. He's further delaying his EZ8s here by going for this. In fact, at this point, he's never going to get out an EZ8. I'm not even sure why we'd go for another anti-tank on here, considering, like, his opponent's got, you know, a fair amount of artillery. Of course, he's also got a lot of Martyrs. M1340's got some Ventus. Obviously, does need some amount of anti-tank guns, but I think 3 against all of the artillery that Orangepest has is not necessarily ideal here for Reakly. Like, he needs to, like, you know, flank with the tanks, then send the anti-tank guns. He needs to get rid of the mortar half-tracks and the 254. But so far, Reakly is seemingly just not considering that as an option. I don't know, it's hard to say, of course, exactly what he's thinking here. 239 on 130 Reakly is re-signed for behind here Orangepest in terms of victory points. Obviously, they're having at this point steadily evaporated. like water left out in the sun. Slowly but steadily vanishing. The Ralph squad is moving forwards here, some event there. Being engaged by American guns here. Greyhound moving up as well. Actually, not Greyhound, it's Ralph the captain. Big push of Reakly. He's going in. He's going all in against Orangepest. Can Orangepest suddenly, you know, withstand this aggressive push? Here we've got Marsman on the flank here, halting the EC8's push there. Almost got this invented. Could take out the more tactics here. Will he achieve to get the Stoop D the final here? Ralph squad dodging a shot here. EC8 versus the M1340 here. It's a pretty horrific push here for Reakly. Things are starting to fall apart here. He's losing cohesion. He's losing momentum. M1340, the cop of the EC8 here. Couldn't take out the 254 pursues. We've got the Grand moving up here. Men being pushed off the center. Stoop D running to the anti-tank guns and the Sherman EC8 here. One anti-tank crew down. Another one just standing about doing nothing. Grain's about to get knocked by the double martyrs. Rifle cap push back here. Grain withdrawn here. Stoop D finally goes down. A small but still solid win here for Reakly against Orangepest. Over to Reakly. Men pouring through the center. We got field repairs here from Reakly. Sherman EC8, they're half HP free, but crucially, he's still some time away from another EC8 or any other tanks. Honestly, at this point, he might be better off just instead of just going for Chaffies, honestly, instead of just churning out those anti-tank guns, because it's kind of cheaper from tech to go for Chaffies now with War Machine than going for anti-tank guns. And we got another telecall in here again. The 254 continues to do excellent work here. I'm got incendiary barrage on the other one. Orangepest is absolutely pushing that 254 to its limit here and using an excellent conjunction with the 254. 2 thumbs up to Orangepest. There's some excellent uses there. Some men being hauled forward to the front again. Martyrs moving forward. Some being repaired. Reakly, though, is starting to really get stuck in the mud here. He needs to really do something in terms of, like, you know, the direction he's currently taking here against Orangepest. Got another Stoop D there for Orangepest. Also worth noting, I mean, Orangepest got like a fairly varied force here with a mix of Martyrs, Stoop Ds, M1340, some Inventors, Mortar half-tracks, and the M1340. Another anti-tank for Reakly. Another one. He really seems utterly obsessed with the anti-tanks at the moment, which again is a bit surprising considering just, you know, the 254 and all the mortar half-tracks. In fact, the 254 is almost ace level. And the mortar half-track closing in I think that might be the first time I actually see a Vecchi 2 mortar half-track out of the DAK here. So I'm into the Stoop D ting hits, EC8 could pursue it, could knock it out here. Anti-tank almost on there for Reakly. Haven't got in the center, despite German constant bombardment. What's really called in here? Reakly's men running in circles. In the south, they're going to need to be pushed back, but their soldiers try to go for the victory point in the south here. We got 102 vs 225. And up north here, fresh counterattack here, but the Americans force Orangepest off the northern victory point here. But Reakly continues to pour all of his attention towards the center inevitably. And even then, it's not like he's trying to like outflank Orangepest around the center. He always goes practically through these 2 routes towards the center here. Occasionally probes a bit around here. But there's rarely any deeper flank here. 99 points left. M1340 on the move there. Veterans who won. Stoop D, some momentum in reserve here for Orangepest. Still no further sign of attack, but so far, the way Reakly is playing, he doesn't really need it either. I mean, Reakly is not presenting a situation for something he'd need like a Flak 36 or Panzer 3s really, or even the Stukas First. Up north here, Ralph's going to be engaged for the Sementis, sort of. In the center, they're rifling to fight out here, but they're taking immense amount of fire. We got smoke being deployed now by Orangepest to deny line of fire to the anti-tank. There you go, Panzerjägers getting pulverized. Good kill here for Reakly. Definitely something you need here versus Orangepest. Up north here, Stoop D withdrawing as the EC8 holds north. It's ace level. Cementis in deep trouble here. Orangepest Mount Oak here versus Reakly. This could get costly, and it could get costly very fast. Sherman EC8 pulling forward. Cementis drawing further away here. This could, of course, also be a ruse to try and force away the EC8 from the front, unlike Orangepest to make progress elsewhere, in which case that is pretty devious. We'll have to see here what the case is. But so far, the Cementis all the way up in the corner. The EC8's going for it, though. Good shot there, straight for the rear armor of the Sherman EC8 here. Good to try to hit though on this momentum, but it is far from enough here. Another great shot. Stoop D moving up here. Anti-tank being followed up, and again, they're all being hauled up into a small corner of the map, meaning it's going to take time for them to get elsewhere. So even if Orangepest now loses some momentum all the way up in the corner here, If he's smart about it, he can actually turn this into a pretty big advantage because now he has to move all of his stuff away from that corner towards the rest of the map. And that means, particularly in the southwest, it's going to be different to react to, say, an armored push like we're seeing now. So, true thumb to Orangepest. That was really solid there. Took advantage of perhaps a mistake of the Inventor and turned it into a way to bait in a lot of Reakly's most valuable units. 2 thumbs up. That was a top tier play there. Panzergrenades here with more type support pushing back Reakly's men. He has soldiers coming up here. Might see tactical assault if it's not reactive. In fact, close to getting wiped here. 254 East level. Up north, the EC8 East level forces away the Germans there. But at what cost? We got guns being dropped here. Countless wipes now for Reakly. M34 coming up here as Reakly throws more men there hurriedly into the furnace of war here by the center. We got the Marder moving up. Route squads nearby. EC8 withdrawing. Ace level. And there you go. GG. Game over. A loss for Reakly. A victory for Orangepest with quite the force there. And quite the utilization of various abilities like the mortar abilities from the 254, the call-ins, but also the incendiary mortar barrage. And Reakly just kind of kept playing into it. He just kept calling it into tank guns, even though they're being like fairly easily countered by this. He now went for more EC8s, he now went for, say, light tanks, which would also been a way to counter it, but like, say, flank around T. He just kept pulling through here. So it felt like Reakly just kind of got stuck in a rut, and meanwhile, Orangepest just saw through this, just exploited it quite well there by, attacking here and there, and just, having just enough forces to hold the center quite effectively. So Reakly, I think, definitely made some strategic mistakes here that allowed Orangepest to just very safely counter him and slowly turn the game around there. So really nice matches, some great plays, but in the end, Orangepest just played better. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but not your enemies. And as always, you can support the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the video description. And this is Reakly saying cheers and see you all tomorrow for the next episode. Bye, everyone.